I'm gonna RIP the city, everybody better know. March the banner of this county every time I'm coming home. When they start to play my music,
Hello, Portland Metro Records presents Off the Record featuring Quiz Zilla. He's got an album that just dropped called Touche, and very excited because we've got a local artist who's making some big noise, and let's get into it and have some fun. So, Quiz, I know traffic was heck. I appreciate you making the drive out here today and visiting us. Tell me about your journey through the world of hip-hop and rap and what keeps you going.
Man, my journey started a long time ago. I was probably 9, 10, picked up my first notebook. It was like the outlet, deal with some stuff. And instead of, a lot of people that were doing bad stuff and whatever, I just took a different way and just wrote it all down.
That's great.
That was my way.
So what drew you to rap? Was it a cultural thing, something in your family? Was it like when I was growing up, we got into rock because of Kiss, or other people got into hip hop because of Dr. Dre or Two Live Crew? What drew you?
All of my friends growing up, they were always, beatboxing or rapping and stuff like that, and it wasn't necessarily, like the hip hop thing I was interested in. I was more interested in the music, like the beauty behind it all, and the artistry. So I started beatboxing and stuff, and I hear my boys rap, and I was like, I could do that, like I could do this. And then I started doing that, and that's how the hip hop part went,
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
amazing. And you've been at this a long time at a high level. I know you kind of disappeared for a couple of years, went down to LA, and then this is kind of like your rebirth out here in Portland. And Portland's not really hasn't really been known as a hip hop town, but you and some others like you bring that credibility here. What's it like carrying that banner?
Man, hip hop in Portland is hard,
Mm-hmm.
because you have the police are destroying all the hip hop shows and making everything hard for us to do anything. And, a lot of the big guys out here, Ilmac and they're tired of it,
Mm-hmm.
so they're making a stand, trying to get things back to how it should be, but, not to mention, nobody wants anybody to do anything good in Portland. That's just how it is in the hip-hop community, man. It's hard, but I really don't pay attention to that stuff. I just keep my head, to the sky and try to be positive and do right and hope people do right by me.
Keep on your mission, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching a couple of your videos, and I couldn't help but think, because anymore there really aren't any videos out there that are worth a darn as far as that are airing on, say, for example, MTV or VH1. Seems like all the best videos were made 20 years ago, and you're coming out with like cinematic quality videos, and they're high concept. Is the music writing the video, or is the video writing the music? How does that all come together?
It depends on like what kind of song. So if I have a concept
Mm-hmm.
when I'm writing, I will
visualize it like
the video first. Yeah.
Okay.
And then when it's time to shoot the video, obviously it goes a lot more, it's totally smooth that way,
Yeah.
It's just a simple thing. But if it's not a concept, if it's more like a life thing, I will still write to it and imagine myself in either a movie or a video. Like
You
that's
put
how I
yourself
write.
as the character and
Mhm,
as the
mhm.
protagonist.
Yep.
Okay.
But then, you might have to step back and think like, what kind of video is this going to be? I'll throw it totally off.
Mm-hmm.
So, it just depends. And then the beat or the instrumental or whatever we're doing totally plays that part as well.
And do you have, because you mentioned in the beginning, you had friends that were beatboxing, have some of those grown with you, or have you kind of amassed a collection of friends that help you put this music together along the way? Are there people that you regularly rely on, or is it kind of all self-produced?
I definitely couldn't do this by myself. You have to have a machine, and I'm not the, machine. I guess you can say I'm the front man, but yeah, there's a lot of those same guys that were rapping back then are rapping with me still.
That's great.
And yeah, it's a good feeling. And if they're not rapping anymore, they're doing what they feel is their thing, you know, that they're in love with, and they support me. My boys support me. They're happy that I'm still with it. They're proud, and they're super proud. They'll buck their chest out. They're proud men, you know.
Yeah.
It is what it
yeah.
is. But then, you know, I have the engineering side of it and the instrumental side and just coming up with all that stuff. You know, you met my boy Freeman Belmont. You know, he's the one who mixed and mastered, engineered, did a lot of the production. He's a genius.
Yeah.
So me and him both. That's when I went to LA. We were recording an album together, and you know, it didn't end up coming out, but it was magic though.
Is the album going to come out eventually under a different label or independent release, or?
I know that some of the work that was on there is not going to go to waste, I guess we could say.
Yeah.
But as far as like it coming out like collectively, no, it's not going to do that. But you're still going to get, you know.
There's some good that came out of it.
There's a lot of good that came out of it.
That's great.
But
Awesome.
I think it would have been crazy if it would have came out how it was supposed to. It would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Still is, but who knows?
That's great. As far as where the beats come from and where the hooks come from, some of your beats and some of your hooks kind of throw back to jazz a little bit to me. Are there some jazz influences or early 60s, 70s influences in that?
I mean, it's hard for me to tell you where all my influences come from, because if I hear it and I like it, it is what it is. You know, growing up, I didn't listen to a lot of hip hop. Growing up, all my family, you know, they were country boys, and you know, as far as the male side, my mom's brothers and them, they were all country boys. So I was listening to country my whole life, you know. But
And we're talking about country, not bro country.
we're talking about country.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Tim McGraw, you know, Alan Jackson, Toby
Garth
Keith,
Brooks, yeah.
Garth, the man. That's the man
Merle.
right there.
Rest in peace, Merle.
Yeah. Conway Twitty. I mean, you know, so many people. But then, you know, my mom was really into hip hop, and so that's where that came from. And you know, she's be playing Bobby Brown or something, Michael Jackson, you know, all that. So I mean, my influences come from every good genre of music, or every good music in each genre. I mean, you know, it is what it is, man. Hip hop is just something that I happen to do most of the time, but I do every kind of music.
That's the way to go, man. That's the way to do it. Do you find yourself now, because you've been in the game so long, do you find yourself in a position to pay it forward and help other artists along the way?
Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of artists, they hit me up. Matter of fact, on the way here, there was a guy who was trying to link with me and stuff, and I always tell people, it's like, if you take it serious and you really want to work, then this should be the last time we actually talk on the phone. Let's get together and do it.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm not trying to waste somebody's time. I don't want my mind wasting. So, yeah, I mean, if you got something and I have something and we can make it more beautiful, then let's do that. That's
great.
my outlook on it.
Yeah. So tell us about Touche.
So Touche, you know, everybody asks me, why did you name it Touche? The name comes from obviously a good comeback, you know, like, oh, you know, checkmate. But for me, it was like I was gone for a while, and I guess you could say my fans probably thought that I was just like either fell off or wasn't doing music, but I was doing music that entire time. I was writing songs in the studio all the time. And but I was signed to a label, and they didn't let us put anything out. So there was nothing that I could really do about that. So when I thought about the name to this album, what better name than Touche?
And so this is, those 2 years that you've been gone. These are the honed, polished, shined up
Yeah, this
songs you've been working on.
Yeah, this is the artist. This is the
The true
trained.
reflection of you.
This is the trained, sculptured artist right here.
There you go. Right on. Right on. What's your favorite track on there? What's the one you're most proud of that speaks to you right now? They're all like kids, I know, but there's probably one that really speaks to you.
I mean, there's probably 3 of them that really hit me. The one about my daughter is definitely probably like it's like when I hear it, I feel good about it. That's my everything. So,
Yeah.
and number 2, God Damn It. And make that clear. With Only One from the Sand People, he is such an amazing artist, and when we came together, it just flowed so. It was just effortless. And then probably Words Were Never True, number 13. That's the R&B track on the album.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that took the most time. Took the most. Me and Freeman, we came together. I was like, man, this is how I want to do it. He's like, let's make it happen. He's always up, hey, let's do something. Let's do it. That's the kind of guy he is. So I told him the lyrics. I told him what I wanted to do. I told him what I wanted it to sound like, and it came out exactly like that.
So in that 2 years of writing and editing and putting it all together, when it finally came time to hit the studio, how much time did you actually spend in the studio? You probably had all the sound in your head and ready to roll.
Well, it wasn't like I had those 2 years to work on this album.
Understand.
There was 3 years where I was working on music, but it wasn't necessarily this. There were bits and pieces, but most of the things that I was working on was for mine and Freeman's band.
Mm-hmm.
And but for this project, I was in the studio for a year.
Wow.
But he was working on his album too, so he's my engineer, but he also plays in his band, Restruct.
Yeah.
And he's the lead singer of that band, and he's in there doing his thing. So we had to find time to come together and make this happen. But we started in January.
Mm-hmm.
Is when we recorded my first song.
Wow.
And the crazy part about this is that we got done with it 2 weeks before I dropped it. I was so excited to put it out. I was just like, you know what, this is dropping April 1st. I'm getting it out. I'm gonna tell everybody that I was joking on April 1st.
Yep.
But I messed up because it came out in New York before it came out here. And so when it hit iTunes, it was before it was April 1st here.
Yeah.
So everybody already had it. So they're like, oh, he can't joke about it now. I was like, man.
Well, and you've got a rabid following pretty much across the country. I mean, you've been around long enough and built up your credibility where you've got people all around the country asking about you. So this must have been a pretty big moment to finally put this out and have it out there.
Yeah, it was a great feeling. Everybody showing so much love. Like most of the time, a lot of people get negative, a lot of stuff. No matter what you do, even if you're amazing at it, doesn't matter. But all I'm hearing are good things.
Yeah, I've seen nothing but positive as far as even just going on something as mundane as YouTube and looking at the reviews of the videos that are out, and whether it's the current music or the older music, like Candyman, for example. You can't find a bad word about Quiz out there.
I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can
I
somewhere.
wasn't looking that hard, but I saw nothing but good. So
I'm sure you can find something bad about me somewhere.
Well, if you're not making somebody mad, you're not doing it right?
Hey, I don't want to say I want to make people mad, but if you're talking about what I'm doing, then I appreciate you.
Of course.
So
That's awesome. So, are there any future club dates in the mix? Are we going to see some live Quiz in the future?
yeah, right now I'm trying to really focus on making myself just an all-around entertainer. So before I hop back on stage, I want to fill every gap I can. I want to entertain you. You know, I want you to go there and be like, you know what, I'm going to this next one. I don't want you to feel like you went to the first one and I saw it all. No, you're going to want to come back.
Where can they get this? I know it's out on iTunes,
Google Play,
Google Play,
Amazon, every major.
And then do you have a website yourself?
Yeah, Quiz Zilla.
KingQuizZilla.com.
Yeah.
Nice.
And there's
That's
links
awesome.
to all of my social media, everything Quiz.
So speaking of live, and I know you've opened for a number of different artists and headlined. Who's been your favorite artist to open for? What's been your favorite artist?
There's so many.
Has there been some heroes that you've met along the way where you've been
Oh
like,
yeah. Oh yeah. But I think my funnest, and this might not be the most appropriate, but probably Two Live Crew.
That's appropriate.
Yeah, he's a hair wild
That's all you gotta
guys,
say right
man.
there.
But you know, a lot of fun shows. I did a show with YG, and that was really fun. Kid Ink show was really fun. All the ones I did with E40 and Touche were really fun. Tech Nine's fans are amazing. Yeah, I mean, it's always fun to meet an artist who is a down-to-earth person and they treat you like a human being, and they respect your craft even though you're not maybe where they're at. And when they're that kind of person, their fans tend to be that kind of people as well. So I got all open arms.
Well, the nice thing about music in general is they didn't get there yesterday.
Yeah.
We all started in the same place.
Yeah.
We all started in our bedrooms, back rooms, bar rooms, somewhere.
Yeah.
Everybody comes from somewhere. So that story, even though it's your story and it's your own, everybody has that own story where they started out and somebody gave them a hand up or somebody helped them out along the way. So it's cool that the music world is so embracing of each other that way, especially in hip hop.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, everybody needs that push, you know, whether it be a girlfriend or a kid or, a best friend telling you you can do it or whatever, everybody needs that positive push.
Definitely. Well, I'm really glad you came out today and braved that drive. I know it's not the easiest thing coming down the I-5. But
I think it was a 405 that was the worst. 26. Man, Oregon drivers are the worst, man. I'm from here, and it's just like, you guys still haven't figured it out. It's like, come on.
Well, hey, really appreciate you coming out, and want to say again, this is Portland Metro Records. Quiz Zilla has been here today. Awesome guest.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
He's got some amazing ink. If you come out to his shows, a couple things you'll notice is the I-5 on the index finger and the Trailblazer symbol. So go Blazers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And thank you very much. This is Rob Wessels, Portland Metro Records, Off the Record. And have a great week. Thank you very much, man.
Yeah, no problem.
My preference. November 29, no doubt I was destined. All in due time, it'll happen, no stressing. Let it breathe, then apply pressure. Doing last round, competition better catch up. Never slay opponents and I spare none. Call a coroner, put them back together. Leave them all severed, they ain't on my level. Gotta be careful, wordplay clever. Hellraiser when I'm trailblazing. Winning on the road and it feels amazing. But when I come home, everybody's favorite. Get love from the city when they start parading. Celebration, they know the winner. We get things popping in the motor center. 5 on the clock, got 4 defenders. DL with a shot when I go to finish. History in the making, behold and witness. Victory is mine, I'ma go the distance. And anyone dare try to come against it, poke holes in your whole offensive. My